Is Hollywood's favorite perfect facade finally crumbling into pieces? Or has this entire 20-year romance just been a high-budget illusion? For decades, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban acted like the gold standard of loyalty, surviving legal wars and messy scandals while looking like total goals. But honey, the mask just slipped. Nicole Kidman didn't just break her silence, she practically nuked the Urban legacy. She's finally spilling the tea that Keith Urban has been pathologically hiding from the world. For weeks, this so-called King of the South has been drowning in industry feuds and public heat. But the real danger wasn't the tabloids. It was sitting right across the dinner table. Nicole's latest bombshell has everyone reeling, specifically targeting a father mystery that has the internet playing detective. What is the dark truth behind the Urban bloodline? Is this about Keith's messy history with his dad, or a more scandalous secret involving the paternity of their own kids? Nicole's cryptic warning that the truth must come to light proves she's done protecting a fake image for a man's ego. The silence is dead, the secrets are breathing, and the fallout is pure chaos. Grab your snacks and don't blink, because what Nicole Kidman just leaked might be the series finale of the Urban dynasty. Let's dig in. The world obsessed over Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman as the ultimate power couple, from their rise to fame to their status as royalty. They looked invincible, but in mid-2026, that glossy PR image is snapping under a pressure that even Nicole can't carry anymore. For years, she was Keith's human shield against federal probes and music industry drama. But the vibe has shifted. The shield didn't just fall. She threw it down, leaving the industry absolutely breathless. To see why she's talking now, look at the insane pressure Keith has been under lately. He's a man obsessed with control, of the story, the millions, and his family's secrets. But lately, the world is hitting back harder than he expected. With investigative reports trashing his business deals and private behavior, Keith is backed into a corner. Usually, Nicole would swoop in to save his reputation with a glowing interview. Instead, she chose his weakest moment to yank back the curtain and let the world see the rot. Typically, this is where Nicole would swoop in to save face, flaunting some fake solidarity or a gushing interview about their unbreakable bond. Instead, she picked his weakest hour to yank back the heavy velvet curtain and let the harsh sunlight expose the rot. The trigger for this sudden honesty? It's clearly a reaction to Keith trying to chokehold the narrative even tighter while his world collapses. Insiders whisper that as the heat turned up, he started demanding the kind of blind loyalty from his circle that sounds a lot like a legal muzzle. But there's a razor-thin line between being a supportive wife and being totally silenced. And honestly, Nicole Kidman just leaped right over that line. Her latest moves aren't just a mood. They're a tactical hit on a legacy constructed entirely of lies. By dragging the father mystery into the light, she didn't just drop a clickbait bomb. She poked a massive, festering wound that goes straight to the roots of the Urban family tree. For 2 whole decades, Nicole has choked under the private pressure Keith applied to keep their family looking like a flawless postcard. For years, the internet's dark corners have buzzed about what actually happens behind their closed doors, wondering how much was real and how much was just a script Keith wrote to play the ultimate hero. Nicole's choice to scream the truth is a neon sign to Keith that she's done being a sidekick in his twisted movie. She made it crystal clear that Keith has been weaponizing family honor to bury her pain and, more importantly, rewrite her own history to fit his ego. This leads to the most radioactive part of her breakout, the specific mention of that paternity puzzle. In this world of elite celebrity dirt, the word paternity can bankrupt $1 billion empire in a single night. While the Urban clan has dodged small rumors before, the fact that Nicole herself is the one screaming fatherhood secret changes the entire stakes. Forget the tabloid rumors. This is the first-hand account of the woman who actually lived through the nightmare. Is she digging up Keith's messy upbringing and the skeletons he inherited from his dad? Or is she pointing a finger at a far more current scandal regarding their own children and the bloodline they carry? The vague way she's playing this is a brilliant tactical move. It has trapped Keith Urban in a situation he absolutely detests, losing total control of the narrative. Their marriage was always sold to us as a perfect, equal partnership, a democracy of the heart. But Nicole's latest bombs suggest it was a toxic dictatorship wearing a democratic mask. By exposing the mental warfare she's endured, Nicole is surgically stripping away Keith's alpha ego piece by piece. She is proving to the world that the man who acts like he has all the answers for his fans can't even keep his own home from collapsing or his own secrets in the vault. This isn't just some petty lover's quarrel. It's a full-blown reclamation of self for a woman who has been suffocated by the urban brand for way too long. Nicole Kidman is the daughter of a literal legend and a powerhouse mogul who built her own empire. She is reminding Keith and the entire planet that she was an icon long before him. And she'll be one long after his name is history, if that's the price of her freedom. The industry is currently in a state of absolute cardiac arrest. Hollywood peers are allegedly shaking that Nicole would air such dirty laundry in public. But maybe this was the only way to make a man like Keith Urban actually pay attention. When a guy has that much power, he can just ignore private talk or redirect the blame. By going scorched earth, Nicole ensured this father mystery isn't her secret burden anymore. It's a public scandal that demands a confession. She's forced Keith to confront his ultimate nightmare, losing the worship of the fans who bought his perfect family man act. As we stare at the remains of this facade, you can practically feel the tension through your phone. Nicole has set the stage for a total takedown. She's told the world she's done being suppressed. She's officially loud, and she's identified a fatherhood mystery that is finally coming to the light. Now the question isn't if the truth drops, but how much more Nicole is ready to leak. Keith is trapped in a hurricane of his own wife's making, and as the winds howl, the urban legacy is falling apart like a cheap roof in a storm. The drama gets even messier because Keith spent decades playing the industry's moral compass, a man obsessed with his own pure reputation. To have his life dismantled by the one person who actually knows his secrets is the ultimate betrayal. But for Nicole, it's a long overdue jailbreak. We are watching a woman whose silence is no longer for sale. She's done being the quiet bystander, while the man she protected for 20 years hides behind her fame. This father mystery is the master key to the entire urban vault. Whether it's about Keith's shady past, his dad's secret life, or the truth regarding the next generation, the foundation is officially trashed. As Keith struggles with this PR disaster, his usual charm isn't working anymore. He can't smile his way out or use big words to confuse us. Nicole has boiled the whole mess down to one terrifying question. What is the actual truth about the fathers in this house? The planet is waiting for the tea. As the heat rises, the man who once pulled all the strings has nowhere left to run. This is where the myth dies and reality takes over. And for Keith Urban, that reality is looking lethal. This nightmare is just getting started, and the stage is set for a showdown that will rewrite everything we believed about this golden couple. With the shield gone, we're heading straight into the heart of the storm, focusing on the specific paternity puzzle that has the internet losing its mind. As we dig deeper into the urban family tree, we have to address the very thing that has social media in a total frenzy. When Nicole Kidman mentioned the father mystery, she wasn't just being petty. She was aimed a massive spotlight at the cracks in the urban brand. In elite Hollywood, lineage is your currency. It's about who you really are and the blood you pass down. For Keith Urban, being the perfect dad isn't just a role, it's his entire paycheck. From his songs to his TV gigs, he's sold himself as the ultimate leader who has life solved. But Nicole's latest tea suggests this perfect dad mask covers a reality much darker than any fan could imagine. The opening act of this father mystery focuses on a paternity puzzle that has haunted the tabloids for years, usually buried in social media's dark corners and dismissed as trashy speculation. While the world watched the urban kids grow up on our screens, sold as the flawless results of a perfect union, those toxic whispers never truly died. Usually, they're easy to block out. But when the mother of those kids, the woman who was actually in the room for every birth and milestone, starts using her voice to expose father secrets, the entire planet has to stop and listen. Nicole's rage seems to come from a deep feeling that their family history has been twisted, massaged, and edited just to fit the narrative Keith wanted to sell. Is there a secret love child from Keith's past hiding in the shadows to save his brand? Or is the rot rooted in the paternity of the children the public already knows? The crushing pressure Nicole describes proves she is totally exhausted from lugging around a secret that was never hers to protect. This isn't just petty gossip. It's about the core identity of a family. If their legacy is built on a pile of half-truths, the whole house is coming down. Nicole's choice to drop this bomb during their divorce is a genius move to make sure the truth can't be used as a weapon against her anymore. She's officially resigning as an accomplice to the lie. But honey, this mystery goes deeper than the kids. To really clock Keith Urban, you have to look at his messy relationship with his own father, Bob Urban. Keith always used his dad's Alzheimer's battle to look human and relatable to his millions of fans. It was a tearjerker story that made him look like a saint. But Nicole's recent tea suggests there are dark chapters of that story that were never read out loud. Insiders think Keith has been scrubbing his own upbringing and his father's real past to protect his self-made king ego. Nicole, being the daughter of the legendary Nicole Kidman, knows exactly what a real legacy looks like versus one built in a PR lab. By dragging up this mystery, she is snatching Keith's crown as the perfect family man. She's telling the world that the man we see is just a character, and the real Keith is still running from his father's ghosts. The tension exploded when Keith allegedly tried to control Nicole's own family business. As a powerhouse mogul with her own massive wealth, Nicole has a reputation to protect. Sources say Keith pressured her to put his brand first, basically trying to swallow her identity into his. This father mystery is her way of shouting that he can't ride her family's success while hiding the truth about his own bloodline. This is a high-stakes power move designed to level the field by dragging the rot in the Urban family tree into the light. She is forcing Keith to face the very demons he has spent 2 decades burying under platinum records and shiny awards. Now let's talk about those secret files buzzing through every A-list circle. Rumors are exploding that Nicole is sitting on documents, legal leaks, and private texts that prove Keith has been playing fast and loose with the truth regarding family matters. Whether these papers expose financial fraud, secret relatives, or shady legal fixes for family members, the point is clear. The king is officially vulnerable. Nicole isn't just some bitter ex venting on the internet. She is a woman with receipts. And in 2026, receipts are the only currency that matters. The massive pressure Keith used to keep her mouth shut has totally backfired. Now, the very secrets he used to control her are being used to buy her freedom. The most delicious part of this drama is the psychological war between 2 people who know exactly where the bodies are buried. Keith is a master manipulator of words, using his deep vocabulary and emotional bait to win every argument. But Nicole is playing a much smarter game of strategic silence. She doesn't need to spill everything to make Keith panic. She just needs the world to know she could end him whenever she wants. This father mystery is a ticking time bomb buried right in their backyard. Every time Keith tries to post a wholesome family photo or a cringe video about leadership, Nicole's looming shadow turns it into a joke. Fans are now watching every move through a magnifying glass, wondering what he's hiding and what she's holding back. We also have to talk about their kids, especially Sunday Rose, as she tries to launch her own career. This scandal threatens to stain every move the next generation makes. If this mystery involves their actual identities or their father's dark past, the damage will last forever. Nicole's choice to go scorched earth now proves she thinks the kids need the truth, regardless of Keith's bank account or his public image. It's a brutal rip-the-band-aid-off style of therapy performed for a global audience. The pretty picture Keith painted for 20 years is being smeared with the ugly colors of reality. Nicole has turned a simple divorce into a full-blown exposure of the Urban bloodline. Keith is officially past the point of just saving a marriage. He is now fighting for the very survival of his name and his street cred. But every time he tries to bully her into silence, Nicole just prepares to let even more skeletons out of the closet. She finally realized his king status only exists if she keeps playing her role. And honey, she just quit the show. The entire industry is holding its breath, wondering if this scandal will trigger the total death of the Urban brand. While Keith tries to stay cool and act tough, those whispers about the father mystery are getting louder and dangerously specific. People are starting to dig into those missing years in his bio and the bodies he stepped over on his way to the top. Nicole's breakout is forcing everyone to reevaluate who Keith Urban actually is. Is he the saintly dad he claims to be, or a master manipulator who used his family as a prop for his own fame? The truth is buried in the mystery Nicole just teased, a secret that hits the core of what it means to lead. As we head toward the big reveal, the stakes are astronomical. The Urban legacy is burning, and the woman who helped build the house is the one holding the matches. The pressure is insane, and the world is dying for that final puzzle piece. What exactly did Nicole dig up in those family archives? And why is Keith so petrified of the world meeting the men who came before him? The final chapter of this mess is coming, and it's going to be the most radioactive reveal in Hollywood history. We've hit the climax of this explosive saga, where the rumors are turning into screams and the father mystery is finally being dragged into the sun. After all this buildup, we have to ask, what is the actual price of a secret? Nicole Kidman has made it clear she's done paying that price with her dignity or her kids' future. As the smoke clears, the reality of this mystery is coming into focus, and it's way more damaging to Keith's persona than anyone guessed. This isn't about one mistake. It's about a toxic pattern of suppression and a fake reality that never actually existed. The heart of this father mystery seems to be a double-edged revelation that's ready to tear down the very gates of the urban empire. First, we have the rising allegations about Keith's own father and the fake narrative he built around Bob Urban. While Keith milked his dad's illness to sell a brand of empathy and strength, Nicole's move from loyal wife to whistleblower suggests there are much darker chapters involving the family estate, the mistreatment of relatives, and the literal gatekeeping of the true urban bloodline. It looks like Keith used his massive bag and influence to rewrite history, trampling over the people who actually lived it just to keep up a level of prestige the streets would admire. By leaking this, Nicole is snatching away his royalty status and proving the urban brand was built on a pile of curated half-truths and strategic muzzles. She's essentially saying the man preaching about legacy has been busy deleting the messy parts of his own. Second, and way more scandalous, the mystery hits the insane pressure Keith put on his own kids to represent a legacy that might not even belong to them. Nicole's shady hints about truth and paternity have everyone convinced there are internal secrets about the younger generation's lineage that Keith has fought like hell to keep out of the news. Whether it's a secret sibling, a fake history, or a past that predates their fame, this mystery is a perfect metaphor for Keith's desperate need to control the very identity of his house. Nicole's message is loud and clear. A father's real job is to give the truth, not a script for his kids to act out. The fallout from this exposure has been fast, messy, and absolutely lethal for the urban brand. Keith, the man who always has $1 million smile and a smooth word for every drama, is suddenly cornered and dead silent. His desperate attempts to spam social media with staged happy family content are being clowned on with record-breaking skepticism. Nobody is buying the family hustle anymore because the matriarch herself is calling the whole show a lie. The pressure Keith used to gag Nicole has flipped into a PR nightmare he can't charm his way out of. Now, every inspirational post he drops about leadership is being dissected by millions for signs of the rot Nicole just exposed. The fans are finally squinting past the filters and spotting the rot in the foundation for the first time. But let's be real, this isn't just about Keith's downfall. This is about Nicole's total escape from a golden cage. For years, she was just the supportive, silent wife who stood by through every federal charge, every industry war, and every storm. By screaming her truth, she has snatched her own narrative back and reminded the planet that she is a titan in her own right. She is no longer some footnote in Keith's bio or a supporting actress in his reality TV show. She is the lead author of her own story now. Her move to expose that father mystery was a strategic masterclass, making sure that when the ship sinks, she isn't the one stuck in the hull. She has successfully detached the Nicole Kidman brand from the Keith and Nicole joint venture, a pivot essential for her own longevity and her kids' future. The impact on the industry has been massive, sparking a huge debate about alpha male culture in Hollywood and the heavy emotional labor women like Nicole do to keep these fake empires standing. Nicole Kidman has become the face of what happens when that loyalty is no longer met with respect or basic honesty. By dragging the father mystery out, she has challenged every man in the game who uses family legacy as a shield for personal trash or mental control. She has proven that a woman's loyalty is not a blank check, and it definitely doesn't cover the bill for systemic lies. Industry peers who were originally shook by her boldness are starting to realize her actions were a survival necessity. Looking ahead, the urban family will never be the same, and that glossy family hustle image is dead and buried. Whether they stay together for the checks or walk away for good, the power balance has permanently shifted in Nicole's favor. Keith is now living in a world where his wife is his loudest critic and his most lethal enemy because she owns the keys to the vault. Nicole is living in a world where she doesn't have to hide the truth just to have a home. And that kind of freedom, it's priceless. The father mystery might be coming out in pieces, but the total destruction of the empire is just getting started. The industry is watching, the fans are thirsty, and the king is finally answering to his queen on a global stage. Ultimately, this isn't just about tabloid dirt. It is a cautionary tale about the weight of secrets and the raw power of the truth once it's set free. Nicole Kidman broke her silence to save her life. And in doing that, she just changed the entire game for everyone in the business. The mystery is out, the pressure is at its peak, and the silence is dead forever. The urban empire might be burning, but for Nicole, that fire is exactly what she needed to forge a new path toward the light of the truth. So, what's your take on this? Is Nicole finally doing the right thing by speaking her truth and exposing the father mystery? Or should some family secrets stay locked behind closed doors forever? Is Keith Urban a master manipulator, or just a dad trying to protect his kids from a harsh reality? And what is your ultimate theory on the Urban lineage? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because I need to hear your take on this Hollywood meltdown. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the cracks of the Urban Empire, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more exclusive, high-stakes updates on your favorite celebs. We are just getting started with the truth, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned and remember that in the world of the elite, the final word is usually the loudest one spoken. The Urban Empire is currently facing a trial by fire, and for Nicole Kidman, this flame is the only way to forge a new path toward her own truth. We've seen the masks fall, the shields crumble, and the legend of the unbreakable couple dissolve into a series of haunting questions about lineage, loyalty, and the heavy price of a lie. The silence has been shattered for good, and there is no going back to the way things were. Now that the father mystery is out in the open, the world is watching to see how Keith Urban will answer for the legacy he spent decades trying to protect. What do you guys think about this massive shift in the Urban household? Is Nicole finally doing the right thing by speaking her truth and exposing these family secrets? Or should some things always stay behind closed doors for the sake of the children? Do you believe the father mystery is the final blow to Keith's king persona? Drop your wildest theories and thoughts in the comments, because this conversation is just getting started. If you found this deep dive as explosive as we did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more exclusive, high-stakes investigations into the secrets of your favorite stars. Stay tuned, because the final word in this saga is bound to be the loudest.